Hello and welcome back to Shakhtar's Glory, episode 45. Really cranking through the episodes now. And we're back here today, back in the Champions League, skipping the domestic stuff like I said we probably would. We'll have a look at how we've got on. We had 3 games, I think it was, between the Athletico Madrid game last episode and this game. As you can see, Inter Milan have already played the game. They had an earlier kickoff. Icardi again on the score sheet. They took an early lead, sort of in the first 15 minutes or so. Fenerbahce did actually get back in the game and equalise, but 2 late goals in the last sort of 10 minutes of Inter Milan sort of saw them win it. So they are in a commanding position in this league now. So we really need a win here against Athletico Madrid. If we don't, we are staring at Europa League this season, and it's another year. It's a year wasted, basically, in the save. It's not progression. It's a very big step back. Okay, you could say we're in a really tough group compared to the last couple of years. Last year was tough, but this is a step up. But if you want to be winning the Champions League, you've got to be able to beat the best teams. And so far, we've lost to Inter Milan and we've lost to Atletico Madrid. We need to step it up at home. We were unlucky in both. There were some late goals in both and a lot of goal drama. So hopefully we can put that behind us and do that, get something a bit better today. In terms of how we've got on since, so we're still unbeaten in the league. Judgement's 2-0 win, pretty standard again. Ischenko actually got 2 penalties and missed a penalty, so he could have had a hat-trick of penalties. They did get a player sent off early doors, which didn't help, but with a fully rotated team, we won 2-0. Probably should have won by a few more, but it's a win. Take that, like I say, complete rotation team. Arsenal Kiev, I think, are the bottom team. Well, they certainly were earlier in the season. From what I've seen, I don't think they're going to improve that much. 5-1 win there. Their goal was kind of against them on a play, but we absolutely dominated it again. Boyachuk getting a couple, Yaremchuk getting a couple, and Tankovsky with another goal. We did have a suspension for Lukacevic, the backup right back. Rather than playing Butko, I brought up a young player, a 16-year-old Portuguese player. I think we signed him. No, he came through our ranks, and he's got good potential. He's not bad credibility, because he's played 2 games. He's got a 7.75 rating. Okay, not against the best teams, but it's the way to sort of bleed him in and bring him in. But a 5-1 win there against Arsenal Kiev, and then we played Zoya as well. Wasn't the usual tough game that we have against them. We know they're sort of semi-struggling in the league this season. They're down in the relegation places. I expect them to push on and push up. Probably finish around this sort of spot here, I would imagine. Points wise, they're not a million miles away. They just need a couple of results, and I'm sure they'll get that. I do quite like this Sawyer team, but 3-0 win. Boyachuk with another couple of goals. Yaremchuk again. We did lose Leo Santos to another injury. He's picked up a couple of those this season now, stopping him from really breaking into the first 11. Although he's played in the league games, but in terms of the Champions League, he's not really been available. Although he would probably struggle to get through against the main 2 boys at the moment, and we've got another one in reserve as well who's really good. That win takes it to 44 games in the league unbeaten, stretching obviously into this season, all of last season, and I imagine probably something in the season before as well. So what we'll do, we'll jump into the game now. We are strong. They're in inconsistent form. So how are they doing? They've dropped down to 6th in the league, and they are, wow, Barcelona have got 3 points on Real Madrid now, and wow, yeah, Atletico Madrid are like, what's that, like 9 points away or something. Yeah, they're going to struggle to get back in and challenge for the title this season, I think. Let's have a quick look at our league title. I didn't actually check it. I know I saw Dynamo Kiev did slip up in a couple of games. Wow, we've got, what's that, an 8-point lead now. All games even. We're still yet to lose. They've drawn 2, lost 2. One against us, one against Chernarets, and I saw them draw recently. I think it was Kopati. I saw it was Urka even. I think I might have noticed both, but yeah, what we'll do, I'm about to say we'll have a look how they get on in Europe, the other teams, but we'll see that at the end of the group. We'll sort of compare everyone's sort of season. So we'll jump into the Athletico Madrid game. So team-wise, we've gone for a bit more dynamism up front this game. We've got Vizeo there, the usual suspects. We've got Malishev back in there. We've got Odi on the bench if we need him to add a bit more of a attacking midfielder element into our play. I'm expecting them to play 4-4-2 again. It's loading up quite quickly at the moment. I don't know what's going on. So Griezmann is still injured. Gamero starting up front. I don't notice too many other changes in terms of yellow cards and things like that, so we're not too sure. Still a really strong team out there. Malyshev is struggling, so we may see that change for Oya sooner rather than later, depending how the game goes. We're going to go passionate. I'm going to take this team, but I still expect us to certainly play a lot better at home than we did in the away leg. We didn't play too badly. We surrendered a 2-goal lead early doors, which was always going to make the game a struggle. But we're coming on nicely here, and Fred with a good chance and forces a really good save from Oblak. Obviously, we've got a really good goalkeeper we're up against as well to try and beat, which makes the task even that little bit harder. But we're still on the ball here. Can we create something from a corner? Probably not, but we do. And Vizeo gets us on the mark even earlier than they did in their home leg. 1 minute. It's Vizeo. We've been missing him while he's been injured. He has come off the bench in a couple of the games where I've just been trying to get his fitness and his sharpness back up. And he has been coming off the bench and getting a few. And Baratke's there. What we may well see is Vizeo probably won't last the whole game. He's still a little bit soon back from injury, so we'll probably shift Baratke up front and bring maybe Paulinho or Boyachuk, someone like that on the wide right position. Not too sure yet. It depends how the game goes. Vizeo's through again, and he scored again. I mean, we're talking about taking him off. It probably would be very silly. And centre back Ordetz with the goal, with the assist there for him. The interception, I think it's from Koke's pass here, isn't it? Yeah, and he just wallops it forward, and Vizeo's there, and the composure just to slot that past Oblak, who, like we said, fantastic goalkeeper. And we've absolutely dominated this game. They've had no shots in the first 10 minutes. We're 2-0 up with 5 shots. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't expect those stats to stay 0 for them and 0 highlights for them. They're going to come back at us. We went 2-0 down and came back to 2-2, playing terribly. They're more than capable. 2 shots for them now, none on target. Tone down the fouls and the tackling, it seems, because there's not been one yellow card for them just yet. And if that goes in, I mean, look at that. 1 highlight, and they've scored their 1 highlight as well. So, yeah, we've got to be a little bit careful. That is a shocking goal to concede, and we seem to be a little bit susceptible to that high ball over the top. We're going to drop back to a normal line, I think. Just give us a bit of chance. I think our defenders are fairly pacey. They're not fast, but they're not sluggish. But it just gives us that extra bit. Is that a penalty? It is. Unfortunately, we haven't got Ischenko on the pitch. So who steps up today? It's Malyshev. I think he has got a couple for us, but it's saved. Of course it is. What are the odds on them going straight up the other end and scoring? Oh, that would have really given us that 2-goal cushion again, which I think we really need to maintain. Diego Costa is really struggling out there, as is Saul. They've obviously not been able to rest their players as much as us because they are struggling domestically. Although I've noticed in previous seasons it doesn't seem to make a difference. If our players are struggling with tiredness and stuff, it factors. But if the opposition it doesn't really make a difference. They'll still have the legs to run past 4 players and put a goal in, it seems. But Vizeo, he pinches it back there. Baratke, can he find the ball? And Vizeo, that's his hat-trick. Right on half-time. 2-goal cushion restored. 3-1. And I think that pushes us back up in... No, it doesn't push us back into second. Keeps us a point behind Athletico, knowing that... Well, a win against Fenerbahce, knowing that Inter have still got to play Athletico. And I think... No, we've actually got Inter next. I was thinking it might be a bit like last season, knowing the Porto game is... Last season, obviously, the Porto game was kind of nothing game in the end. Vizeo, he's got 4. He's got 4. Like I say, we're talking about taking him off. He's just scoring everything that comes his way. How would you take someone like that off? But, yeah, this group is wide open now. But that Inter game is coming at a key time. Straight on the back of this game. Next episode, I would imagine. I don't think there's a league game that might jump into it. Even Kiev is looking like it's not even worth showing at the moment, the way they're sort of going about business this season. I mean, they're only 8 points behind, but we're going to take the team talk today. We're going to keep it calm. And they're delighted, not fired up, which is one I tend to like, but delighted will do, as long as it's not red and unhappy. That's the main thing. Diego Aspas has come on for them as well. They do have a real sort of... And he scored. Of course he has. They've got a real selection of strikers and forward players, it seems. Obviously they've got Griezmann, Costa, Gamiro. I assume Torres is gone. They've got Dolberg somewhere lurking. They've got Aspas now, just come on, and He's not going to miss that one. We'll skip that, we're not too bothered, but that's 4-2. We've got 20 minutes to, don't want to say hold on, because we're still dominant force here, but we may need to think about some changes. We will go, we're not going to make the Oya change. We are going to bring Malashev off just because he's struggling a little bit, as is Fred. If we've got anyone that can come on for Fred, Oya can, so we'll do that change. He's not the most, that'll do, that's a bit better. And who else is struggling out there? Vizeo we know is struggling, so we'll bring, I think we'll bring Boyachuk on. He's got 4 games in his last 2 league appearances. So we'll give him a Champions League outing for sort of 10-15 minutes. See if he can do something. 3 subs at once, always a risk, but with 10 minutes to go, it's not really that much of a problem. 3 minutes added time, and we should, barring a miracle, see this out. We've got the ball on the left-hand side, and that's the end of the game. 4-2. What a result. What a fantastic, not just a result, a performance as well. We saw this last season. We struggled in the first couple of games, and then we just went on a rampage in the rest of the few games, and that sort of coincided with the league form as well. It kind of all bundled into one sort of, it just sort of clicked, and we ended up having a really good season, got to the semi-finals. So if we can do something like that again and maybe go one step further, bit of luck in the draw as well, we need. Obviously we did have some tough games in the draw last year. We had PSG, who were a bit of a tough opponent the year before. We had Real Madrid, obviously, who, I mean, they look like they were regrouped a bit this year, but they are slipping away from Barcelona a tad. But that is a fantastic performance, and let's see what we've got. So we have a league game. We drew Desna again in the Kubok. I think they knocked us out last year. We certainly beat them in the Community Shield at the start of the season. But 2 games to play, and then we come back to the home game against Inter, and we've also got an away game against Fenerbahce. So 2 big European games. As I thought, there's no real domestic competition worth coming up. We'll come back for the international. It is technically international early, but Inter Milan. We'll come back for that game at our ground. Obviously back at our ground now as well, which is a bonus. If you are liking this content, please drop me a like. Drop me a sub as well, just to keep up to date with all the new videos as they get posted. And any comments as well. I do try to reply to all comments if possible. There's a couple of people that do drop some comments and stuff, so I do really appreciate it, and I do reply to them where I can, and there's a little bit of banter going on there as well, which I'm more than happy to join in with. So yeah, until next time, I will see you for the Inter game next time. See you later.